Welcome to Canine Handler Fitness. This is a podcast for dog sport handlers who want to feel strong, capable, and confident in their bodies. Hi, my name's Liz Joyce. I am a strength and conditioning coach, and I specialize in fitness for agility and dog sport performance. In this podcast, we cover everything you need: strength, speed, mobility, and endurance. All the things to keep you moving, performing, and doing what you love, both in and out of the ring. Let's dive into today's episode. Hey y'all, and welcome back. We are talking about heat today. Summer is approaching for a lot of people who are in this community, and I don't know about you or if these are conversations that you have with your friends, but every single summer I start hearing the same thing from my clients. It is too hot to train, or too hot to run, it's too hot to work out, it's too hot to do anything. And honestly, sometimes you're right. Sometimes it really just is too hot. But this episode is not going to be me telling you to suck it up or embrace the discomfort or no pain, no gain, or to go run intervals in 30-degree weather, which is the mid-80s for y'all that are living in the US. That is not what we're doing today. What I want to talk to you about instead is what happens when summer arrives, when temperatures climb, and sometimes fitness can quietly just slip away from people. There's some things that I've noticed, and this is a consistent thread. Most handlers don't stop training because they're lazy, and they don't stop because they suddenly don't care. This is really important. I'm going to say it twice. They stop because the conditions have changed, but their plan didn't. Okay, think about that again. This happens in all areas of our life. We start a new job, we get a new vehicle, we move, we do whatever. The conditions have changed, but your plan didn't. Really does set you up for failure. And if your entire fitness routine only works when the weather's perfect or the schedule is predictable, life is calm, then this is not a very robust routine, and we need to upgrade this. So today I want to talk to you about heat, hydration, realistic expectations, and how to keep moving forward when summer doesn't look the way you hope that it would. Let's start with something very important. If your workouts are feeling harder in the summer, you are probably not imagining it. Heat changes things. Research consistently shows that exercising in hotter conditions increases our heart rate, it increases our perceived effort, and it increases the physiological stress, which is like blah, blah, blah. The translation of that is that when it's hot out, the same workout can feel significantly harder. You might be running the same pace or lifting the same weights or doing the exact same workout, same time of day. Everything's the same, but your body is working harder to cool itself down. And that's energy that cannot be used anywhere else. It's common that people interpret this as losing fitness. And if you're someone that's new to a fitness habit or doesn't have a lot of experience going through different temperature cycles, it can be extremely demotivating. But if you can understand what's going on, you can have some compassion for your body and help a sister out. I hear from people saying things like, I feel slower, or I feel weaker, or I feel out of shape. And yeah, that might be going on, but it's much more likely that you are also trying to perform in conditions that are dramatically different from what you had in the spring. This is one of the reasons I encourage handlers to stop comparing their July workouts to their April workouts. These are different seasons, different demands, different expectations, especially those of y'all that are running outside. If you are running outside, this is extra applicable to you. Because here's what often happens, and it's good to hear this because I work with hundreds and hundreds of people, and I have been working in this industry. This is my 20th year, okay? Hundreds of people are my client base exactly right now. So my group to talk to is quite large. And I'm telling you right now that if this feels like a pattern for you, what I'm gonna just say, you are not alone. I've noticed that this is a pattern because of conversations with hundreds of people. This is what happens. Spring arrives, right? The weather's nice, the trees are blooming, there's that, all that goodness in the air, motivation is high. A lot of people love trialing outdoors, so that season can kind of start. People start walking more, they might start running more, then they feel great, maybe they start training more, and everything feels good, right? And then summer arrives, and this is what happens. The temperature goes up, travel increases, the weekends literally vaporize. Like, I don't know what goes on in the summer that My weekend in July feels like I blink and it's over. And the weekends in rainy, cold January in Vancouver, BC just go on forever. But the other thing that happens in the summer is that sleep can get a lot worse. It's harder to get quality sleep when it's hot, and it's also harder to sleep when it's brighter for more time during the day. But people suddenly start missing workouts. Then they feel guilty. Then they decide that they're failing. And then you know what happens? And this is the most tragic thing ever, is that they stop completely. And that's the part that I want to prevent. If any of that sounds like a cycle that you've been in before, when you can predict a cycle, you can prevent a cycle. Because missing a workout due to heat isn't the problem, but abandoning your fitness because conditions aren't perfect really is a big problem. We're going to talk about hydration, okay? It is something that's incredibly boring. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you're going to hear me talk about hydration a lot. I know a lot about hydration. I do not have a large intestine anymore, which means that my hydration levels can drop dramatically and cause me some very significant health problems. So hydration is something that is top of mind for me. I have a more intense experience of dehydration, but that just means that I experience in my body what someone would experience over a period of several days, I would experience in like half of a day. So it's just accelerated and more intense. But I'm telling you now, it makes like a huge difference. We're talking about water. This is a very unsexy topic, but one of the biggest factors that affect how people feel during the summer is their hydration level. Something that happens a lot is that a lot of people only think about hydration when they're exercising during that time. But hydration really is an all-day habit. And actually, when you want to read, that's like a 24 to 48 hour process. So it's not like you get dehydrated to the point that you have a headache, right? I'm so dehydrated, I have a headache, I feel like crap. You have a cup of water and you go, I'm hydrated. Wrong, Karen, that's wrong. It's like you got to drink more water for 24 hours to 48 hours to really hydrate yourselves. And if you're waiting until you're standing ringside at a trial and you're feeling thirsty, girl, you are behind. Mild dehydration has been shown to impact performance, increase your perceived effort, reduce your endurance, and negatively affect your cognitive performance. If you were to flip it around and you had great hydration, you would have higher performance. Things would feel easier for you. You'd be able to run faster for longer. You'd be able to do more trial days, and you perform with more cognitive sharpness. But when you're dehydrated, this is other words, right? Everything again is going to feel harder. You're going to feel more tired. You will recover more slowly and you think less clearly. For me, what happens when I get dehydrated is I actually get like heart palpitations. And I also get so fatigued that going upstairs is a challenge for me. And that can happen in a period of like 8 hours. Again, like I was saying, that's an extreme example of dehydration. But if you're experiencing a mild dehydration, you're just going to experience like a little less than that. And it is not really fun. So let's talk about a typical kind of trial travel day, right? It's an early morning, gross. You're driving. I hope you're having coffee. You're walking, talking, standing, you might be running, you might be warming up. Maybe there's some stress. You might be kind of excited. You're talking with your friends, you're unpacking your vehicles, you're getting your dog set up, and then a couple of hours pass. And then around 2 p.m., you're exhausted, right? And you're wondering what happened. And all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, the only thing that's going to make me feel satiated right now is a Krispy Kreme donut. Actually, I'll take 12. Dehydration will also make you feel hungry. Part of the answer you feeling exhausted at 2 p.m. might simply be that you haven't had enough fluids. And I'm here to tell you now that water doesn't have to come from a water bottle. One thing that I think gets overlooked so much is that hydration doesn't only come from drinking water, but food contributes too. So a part of my plan is that as a person that struggles with maintaining hydration and electrolyte levels, specifically sodium, is that I plan my days so that I have wet foods. And many of the foods that we naturally eat during the summer are actually fantastic for hydration. So these are things that and not all of these, but these are things that I choose to eat almost every day. And if you're thinking about packing snacks or what are you going to buy at the grocery store or whatever, add some of this stuff to your cart, okay? Here's some options: watermelon, strawberries, oranges, cucumbers, tomatoes, peaches, yogurt, cottage cheese, smoothies. All of these food contain a significant amount of water. I'm not saying that you should be eating watermelon instead of drinking water. What I am saying is that if you're someone who struggles to drink enough, that adding more hydrating foods can help. And sometimes it's a lot easier to support hydration from multiple directions than trying to force yourself to drink an enormous amount of water. Like all things, the people who stay hydrated usually is not just a discipline thing. It is, they built some systems around it, like carrying a water bottle, refilling it when it gets empty, setting kind of time limits. So you have a water bottle you fill up, it has to be empty by lunchtime, and then it has to be empty by the end of the day. And that's a really great kind of goal. That's a really great way to go about making sure that you're getting water in. People also drink before they leave the house. They drink water with meals. They have a cup of water before they have their coffee, and then the habit just becomes something that they do. Because let's be honest, in this area, the best wins are simple ones. Let's talk about how summer fitness might look a little bit different. And this is the part that I wish more people understood, is that summer fitness doesn't have to look like spring fitness, okay? And we also probably need to be talking about the time of day. So your workout, considering the other effort that your body is putting out to keep itself at a good temperature, might need to be a little bit shorter. Instead of doing a 60-minute workout, you might do a 45-minute workout. You might need to lift a little lighter. If the temperature is really, really hot outside, you might want to think about that. Also, time of day really matters. Maybe you train early in the morning. Maybe it's difficult for you to be able to walk your dogs because it's so hot, so you take them out first thing in the morning. And when you get back, it's a rule. As soon as I get back, I'm going to put a bag of frozen peas on my neck for like 5 minutes, and then I'm just going to go get this done. That could be something that you do. You might also consider training indoors. And if you're on my app, there are indoor speed workouts to get your body in the shape of running and also demand plyometrics and good cardio conditioning, but aren't you running outside? And on really hot heat wave times, you might even want to think about shifting your goal from like progress building to maintenance. And honestly, that's okay. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is assuming that every season should be a growth season. And sometimes maintaining is winning. And sometimes, and this is always important actually, preserving momentum is winning. And sometimes surviving a chaotic summer while keeping one or two fitness habits alive is a massive success. That particular message is for people who are newer to fitness. It is really, really, really important that you protect your emotional space around working out so that it is something that feels doable and is something that you can feel really good about. So listen, if you're finding yourself frustrated because your workouts don't look the way that they did a few months ago, or you know it's getting hot in the summer, and every single summer that comes around, you spend more time on the patio and less time working out, or it just feels so hot that you just abandon movement altogether, I just want you to remember that different seasons will place different demands on. Summer isn't winter, summer isn't circumstances. Like, really doesn't make a lot of sense. So instead of fighting the season that you're in, I want you to work with it. Keep the habit alive. Focus on your hydration. Focus on your consistency. As always, focus on what you can do, because the goal isn't to train perfectly all of the time. The goal is to arrive in September still connected to your fitness instead of feeling like you're starting all over again from scratch. Thanks so much for hopping in today, and I look forward to talking to y'all next week.
Thanks so much for being here with me today and choosing to spend this time investing in yourself. I hope you feel encouraged to take action. Even the smallest steps forward will add up in ways you cannot even imagine yet. If this episode gave you something to think about or lifted you up, please share it with a friend. You really never know who might need these tools today. For more information, practical tools, and resources to help you get stronger and confident both in and out of the ring, head on over to caninehandlerfitness.com. You can also find me on all the socials under the same name, so come on over and say hi. I'm here to help you build the skills, knowledge, and belief you need to reach your goals. Keep going, keep learning, and most of all, keep showing up for yourself. You've got this, and I'll be here cheering for you every step of the way.